You are never as smart and as successful as you think you are. Everybody thinks they're really, really good.
Ego.
And you have to have some of that in order to have, I'll just call it the balls to do what's necessary for you to do. Welcome to the Heartland Multifamily Show, the shorter, more profitable path to multifamily ownership and investing. Everybody, it's Darren and Isaiah. Hi, Isaiah.
Hey, Darren.
What's going on?
Not a whole lot. What are you up to?
I'm shooting a podcast. What are you doing?
Same.
You doing the same?
Yep, I'm going over Festos today.
You're doing over Festos today, and I'm looking forward to this one, this episode of the Heartland Multifamily Show, the place
For all things multifamily.
for all things multifamily. I'm just trying to put my glass. I'm just going to put it. Look, guys, we have been doing manifesto episodes, so we've got different podcast episodes where we dig into our multifamily manifestos. And so, Isaiah, why don't you do me a favor?
Read Festo.
Why don't you read the manifesto? What number is it? And why don't you read it and we'll discuss.
Festo 21. You are never as good of a landlord as you think. You are never as bad as you think, and neither are they.
Let me break it down. Probably the best way that I can describe this is to let you know that this comes from experience. And so this is something that as you mature in this business, as you mature as an entrepreneur, you come to find out this is more often the case. Okay, so read the first part of the manifesto. Let's break this down.
You are never as good of a landlord as you think.
Okay, so this has to do with believing your own bullshit. Once you start having success, all of a sudden, you start to let your guard down in terms of you start thinking you're smarter than everybody else. And so when you start thinking that way, the success that you have starts to cause you to be a little less careful, starts to cause you to be a little less paranoid about things because you start believing your own bullshit.
You're saying being comfortable.
Yeah, well, you're comfortable, but you're comfortable in you believing you're the all-knowing wizard at the top of the mountain. Okay. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with being that, but you better continue to be grounded in what you don't know and want to be grounded in continuing to do the work necessary to be not only, we'll call it the wizard, but a better wizard than you are. And far too many people get to a point, and we could go down a long list of stories, some well-known with celebrities, sports figures, business owners, entrepreneurs, CEO, you name it. We could go down the list where they got too big for their britches, Isaiah, not only in terms of their attitude, but how they treated people, how they treated their business, how they treated people close to them, where we all know the stories of the people that started out, struggled, they got really good, things were going fantastic, and then it's crash and burn, everything around them pretty much burns down. Why is that? Because of that. You are never as smart and as successful as you think you are. Everybody thinks they're really, really good.
Ego.
And you have to have some of that in order to have, I'll just call it the balls to do what's necessary for you to do. Bottom line. But you can't get so in depth with this that you start believing your own bullshit. Yes, you want to think logically, you want to take risks, but you can't believe your own bullshit because the moment you do, we got problems. Do you know, I wonder if you've seen this. I've got this big whiteboard in my office. You've seen that. What's one of the big things I've got written on my whiteboard right in front of my desk?
Always be paranoid.
Always be paranoid. Got to have a healthy bit of that. Okay. Why do I have that right in front of me that I can see it every day?
Because you never get too comfortable where you're at.
Right. Because I want to make sure I don't get into the stage of believing my own bullshit and I start making really bad decisions, impacting people the wrong way, and it causes problems. All right, Isaiah. So that was the first. What was the second part of it?
The second one is you are never as bad as you think.
Okay. So you might be thinking, Darren, how in the hell are you going to put this together? You just talked about being good and bad. Here's what happens, especially to entrepreneurial kind of people. If you're entrepreneurial, if you're self-disciplined, if you are very focused on achievement, you are your own worst enemy 99% of the time. How many times do you overthink or blow up mistakes that you've made or things that you've done wrong? How many times?
Are you personally asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
A lot.
All the time.
Yeah.
So you and I were just talking before we started our podcast, and you were telling me that you sent information out on a property that we've got for sale, and you had the wrong price on it.
Yep.
Okay. What was your reaction when we had this discussion and you said, how many, you said for 3 months you've been sending out the wrong information, the wrong price. Yeah. What was your reaction?
I put my hands on my head.
You're like, oh my God. Oh, you're like, oh, the world. Yeah. Well, that's the way we are because we're achievement. We're target oriented. We want to achieve every day. And if you're in the achievement mindset, you're always your worst critic and you're always very, very hard on yourself. Here's a really good book. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics. And the book is written by a plastic surgeon by the name of Maxwell Maltz. And, he kind of started a movement with this. And, what Maltz discovered through working with plastic surgery patients is how hard people are on themselves. Here's a quick example. So he does plastic surgery on somebody. Let's say a nose job. They come back, they're getting the bandages off, and he's like, wow, what a huge difference. You look fantastic. They go look in the mirror, and what do they think?
That they don't look
They
fantastic.
look like shit. They're like, wait a minute, it's worse than it was before. He's like, no, it's not. It's a lot better than it was before. No, it's not. This is this way and this is that way. Now, that did happen with all of his patients, but it happened with the majority of his patients. When he'd get done with plastic surgery, they would think they look worse than they did before, when in fact, most of them looked really, really good. Why is that? Because we are harder on us, 100%. Now, merge that with being achievement, direction, goal-oriented, and you got problems. You got problems. So look, guys, I'm not trying to, and we're not trying to preach to you. Just keep in mind, you tend, if you're achievement, goal-oriented, you're going to overthink things. You're going to be too hard on yourself. And the first place your mind is going to go is going to be worst case scenarios. That's the way it is. Just be aware of that as it's happening and as you're going through it. How many times am I reminding you of this?
A lot.
All the time.
A lot.
And yes. I ain't perfect. It happens to me all the time. But being aware of it is huge. Just be aware of it because that's the way we're built, so to speak. Hey guys, a lot of people contact me and want to know, where are the best resources when it comes to investing in multifamily? Where can I go? And the obvious answer is darrengarman.com. 99.9% of all of the items on the website are absolutely free. Start making that multifamily investment that you've been thinking about a great reality. All right, so we talked about you not being as good as you think you are. Sorry. You not being as bad as you think you are. Good news. What's the next?
And neither are they.
Here's a little secret that not a lot of people really think about or talk about. Everybody has issues, problems, and dysfunction going on in their lives, no matter who they are. Even those people that you think are, wow, those guys are awesome. That guy, how in the hell does that guy do it? He does this, he does that. How does she do that? How is she in such great shape and she does this and does that? Guys, always remember the old saying, nobody's perfect. Nobody is. And the more someone works, the harder they work to give you an image of how perfect they are, the worse it is in the background. Be careful not to get too enamored with people because they got issues and problems and dysfunction just like you. Isaiah, you got any comments on that?
No. Actually, you're never as good of a landlord as you think. I think you're pretty good at that because you have your daily huddles. So you're obviously not out there managing your properties and seeing everything that goes on, but you get like a realistic look with having those 20-minute meetings with your staff to tell you, hey, we got a problem here, or this is something we're going to need to look forward to for fixing. So you kind of have a better general idea of what is going on at your properties versus a lot of people when they just hire a third-party management company to come in, do what they need to do, but then a couple months, weeks go by and they have no clue what's going on at their properties.
Yeah. You know, it's funny about that. You mentioned my daily huddle with my managers. I'll have at least one or two of the managers at least once a week kind of voice their opinion about not really wanting to have the meeting. You know, in their minds, a lot of the time, not everybody, but a couple, it's kind of a waste of time. You know, hey, I got things to do. I got things to get done. I got units to show. I got leases to process. I got stuff to do. I get it. But the value of having those daily meetings just to touch base with each other and get together and get an idea what's on everybody's plate that day is absolutely huge. Now you compare that to, like you said, a lot of apartment community owners, let's say they've got a management company. How often are they checking in with their management company?
Probably not very often.
Maybe.
Don't even maybe it.
Maybe once a month. Maybe they are. You know what I mean? And then they're surprised when they've got problems and issues. But this is another discussion for another time. Let's go back to hit the manifesto one more time.
Festo number 21. You are never as good of a landlord as you think. You are never as bad as you think. And neither are they.
That's right. So let me just kind of come full circle and summarize this up, guys. This has been a really good episode. Number one, always be learning, always be working, always understand. Even if you are the wizard at the top of the mountain, there's a higher mountain next door that you want to keep working on and getting to. You never have it all figured out. That's number one. Number two, don't be so damn hard on yourself. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to screw up. The mind wants to go to worst case scenarios every time. And to be someone that's out there in the arena, making things happen and doing things, you're going to screw up. Just be aware of that. If and when it happens. And then number three, just keep in mind those people that you look up to, those people that you hold in high esteem. Keep looking up to them. Keep them in high esteem, but always remember everybody has problems, issues, dysfunction, and frustration going on in their lives, no matter who they are. And the awareness of these three things together, man, just makes you much, much more, I'll use the word powerful out there when it comes to going through your day, not only your daily cares of life, but if you're, like we talked about, achievement oriented, makes a huge, huge impact on what you're doing and how you do it. Isaiah, thank you for joining me and contributing to this manifesto episode of the Heartland Multifamily Show, the place
for all things multifamily.
For all things multifamily. See you guys. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye. If you want to get your hands on more great multifamily real estate content, make sure you click here. If you want to invest passively in great multifamily real estate, make sure you click here.